Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Life in Sport Match Report. This is going to be a series throughout the 2024 Rugby League seasons, mainly the NEWRL, bit of the Ron Massey Cup, Central Coast Rugby League, and, a few other leagues, etc. This is going to be covering the Newcastle Rugby League Round 1 Magic Round. Now, guys, what a great initiative of the NEWRL to, start that with Round 1. It was at number 2 Sports Ground this past Saturday. What an event. Over 4,000 in attendance. And, guys, that's bloody wonderful. Honestly, it really is. You can't really top this event for the new RL, but I think they're going to manage to do it for Anzac Round coming up. But we'll be covering each game as it went by. We'll have a bit of a chat with some players and coaches throughout the episode as well. And, guys, let's get started. It was round 1 of the rebranded Newcastle Rugby League, the new RL for season 2024. And the first game of the season was the Entrance Tigers against Lakes United Seagulls. The Entrance Tigers have bought well and recruited well, you could say, in the offseason. David Fafita coming back, Blake Austin, amongst re-signing a lot of their other key players, including Harry Mulligan, for example, and Tony Pello. Well, guys, it was a game of two halves, you could say, in the sense of the Entrance Tigers dominated most of the first half, leading 22-0 at halftime. Harry Mulligan switched from wing to fullback later in the game and then picked up a bit of a niggling injury himself. The Lakes United did not give up. They really didn't. It almost went down to the wire to the point where it was almost a field goal sort of opportunity, but it wasn't to be, and the Tigers ran out winners in that game, 28-24. Congratulations to the Entrance Tigers. Now, we did have a chat with recent signing for the Entrance Tigers, Blake Austin, and this is what he had to say about the match just gone and the match coming up next week against the Wyong Roos.
Blake Austin post-game, mate, what's it like to shake the rust off in a first-grade game for this year?
Good to get a game, yeah. Starting in April, it's not the best idea when we've seen 6 rounds of NRL already, so I was chomping at the bit. First half was good, second half was awful, but grabbed 2 points. It's a tough competition. We've been shown that pretty quickly, so good to get a win.
Where do you think the team needs to improve for next week against Wyong?
Everywhere, mate. We'll improve everywhere.
Our Energy Pro player of the match this week goes to Brendan O'Hagan, the halfback for the Entrance Tigers. He was everywhere. And I'll probably say that about each of the players of the match for this round, but he was everywhere, in everything, amongst it all. And so congratulations to Brendan O'Hagan for an absolutely outstanding performance. The second game was Wyong Roos against the Curry Bulldogs. This game wasn't similar or wasn't the same as Entrance Tigers game. It was a gritty game. It went, the Roos were up 10-0, and then the Curry Bulldogs matched that. It was 10-all. Then it was 14-all. And then it was try for try. Blake Ferguson, recent signing for the Curry Bulldogs, was sin-binned early in the first half. And I think it should have been a penalty try as well, given he tackled a player without the ball in a try scoring opportunity, but the powers that may be decided to just give it as a penalty and not a penalty try and sin bin. But that didn't stop Blake from leading the team once he came back on the field. He was an incredible and inspiring, leader and captain for that team, and it went down to the wire, to the point where it was a field goal. It was a field goal. 25-24 was the final score to the Wyong Roos. Notable events of play, obviously, was Blake Ferguson, and there was a great fifth tackle kick regather, followed up by chip and chase try by Curry. 79th minute field goal to the Wyong Roos. We had a chat with captain coach of the Wyong Roos post-game about his thoughts about the game just gone.
Captain coach of Wyong Roos after the round 1 Magic Round match against Curry Bulldogs. First of all, what are your thoughts post-game?
I have a lot, but really tough. They played some really good attacking footy, a few bounces of the ball that went their way. We refused to show any respect to the ball, and it nearly cost us. A couple of heads-up plays off that kick-off coming back, and then Baden obviously icing the game with that field goal. Really saved us, but so happy to win to start the season, but obviously, a lot of improvement needed.
You take on winners from game 1 today, Entrance Tigers next week. What do you think the team needs to do to improve for next week if you're a chance of beating the Tigers?
Yeah, hold the ball. I saw a little bit of their game, but it doesn't matter too much what everyone else is doing. We need to hold the ball. I think we finished below 70%. Yep. I know we're in 60s in the first half in completion. That's just not good enough. We're not showing enough respect for the ball. I thought Curry played really well. I thought they handled the situation better than we did, but really thankful to get the win.
Our Energy Pro player of the match is Kai Hopwood. Again, second rower. He was in everything, similar to Brendan O'Hagan was for the Entrance Tigers. So congratulations to Kai Hopwood on that. It was a wonderful event. The beers were flowing. The food was being eaten. You know, some of the night stars were sitting in the crowd. It was a really, really great day. So big credit to the Newcastle Rugby League and also the general manager, Adam Devcich, as well as Guy, the football operations manager. And we actually had a chat with Adam about the round, about the preseason and all that sort of stuff. And this is what he had to say about it all.
We're joined by the GM of the NEWRL, or Newcastle Rugby League, Adam Devcich. First of all, thank you for joining me. And secondly, how's the day been so far, mate?
Yeah, great. Look, the weather's been cracking. The footy's been really good, actually.
This Magic Round has been a massive success for NEWRL, at least from an outlooker's perspective. Do you think we can see another Magic Round next year in the NEWRL?
Absolutely, no question.
How has the off-season and the pre-season planning gone for you, and hopefully not too many grey hairs in the off-season for you?
Oh, look, I see our job as trying to make things as easy for the clubs as possible. So, for example, one of the things we did this year is create a single contract whereby no matter the grade a player plays, they can be signed on a single contract. So setting all that stuff up, creating having the women's competition as part of our match days, rebranding ourselves. A lot of our clubs are run by volunteers, but the other thing we want to do is trying to innovate and engage the community better. And this is what today is about. This is what our Anzac Day games in a couple of weeks are about.
So what rugby league's about as a whole, honestly.
Yeah, 100%.
Getting into the third game, Northern Hawks against the Maitland Pickers, the grand final winners from last year, was never going to be an easy game for Northern Hawks because, Maitland Pickers are a dominant team. It really was. And it was somewhat a game of two halves again, in the sense of the Maitland Pickers got out to an early lead, 10-0, and then 12-0, obviously. And that was halftime score, 12-0. Good start by Maitland Pickers, but second half, the Northern Hawks outscored them, and the game ended up finishing 20 points to 10. So Northern Hawks outscored them. They scored 10 points. Maitland scored 8 points in the second half. Good second half effort by the Northern Hawks, but there just wasn't enough done in the first half by them, of course. Big credit to them, and they now play. I'm not sure who they play next week, so I'll cut that out. Our Energy Pro player of the match for that one is Ethan Parry. And our notable moment, 56th minute, David Dryden try. What a weapon. What a weapon. It was a diving sort of try, and he won't let anyone live that down. He'll be telling people in 10 years' time about that try. So congratulations, David. Obviously, the fourth game of the day was Macquarie Scorpions taking on the Cessnock Goannas. Again, wonderful, wonderful game. Both sides started very strong in defense and attack to the point where it was 0-0 at halftime. However, the same cannot be said for the second half, which saw the Goannas coming out firing with incredible displays from their dummy half, Luke Huth. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Luke. Being involved in everything. Anywhere you looked, there he was. Whether there was a bit of a biff or a bit of everything, he was there. And it just backed up the growing scoreline. Addison Peel opened the scoring 45th minute, followed by 2 tries in 4 minutes from Wyatt Shaw and Harvey Neville. The scoring didn't stop there, though. Mitchell Shaw in the 55th minute. Macquarie were able to grab a somewhat consolation try in the 70th minute, but Cessnock did not let up, and they scored another try in the 76th minute. Obviously, a notable event was Cessnock captain Reid Hugo copped a gash to the head, went off for a HIA, came back on with headgear and passed his HIA. Obviously, Energy Pro player of the match, Luke Huth, or Huth. I apologize if I'm butchering that last name, mate. Absolutely well done. It's the power of the mullet for sure. Well done on that game. We had a chat with Harry Shaker, the Cessnock Goannas coach, post-match, and this is what he had to say.
Cessnock Goannas coming off a win from round 1 Magic Round at number 2 Sports Ground in Newcastle. Harry Shaker, first of all, mate, what's your takeaway from that round 1 comfortable win from the second half against the Macquarie Scorpions?
We made it hard the first half, mate. I think it was just too sloppy. What we did, we were too flat, we were too sideways. We just didn't execute what we trained for. So obviously made it tough, mate, but you got to find a way to win these games, especially early on. You need to get points on the board, and I think 40 minutes to score 26 points. We just got back to basics, ran hard, rolled the sleeves up and did the gritty stuff, which in the first half we were probably a little bit too comfortable to try and play and try and score points early without breaking them down. So I think once we got into that groove, we sort of did get over the top of them, but they give us a good crack, mate. They're not a bad side. They've got some tough boys in their team, but I just sort of feel like when we play our best footy and play to what we know, we're a pretty good side in this competition. That's just what we got to get to. So second half pleased with, first half a little bit disappointing, but like I said, they're not a bad side. They play pretty tough, so definitely made us work for it, but I think we got what we deserved in the end.
The final game, West's Rosellas against Central Newcastle Butcher Boys. Bit of a derby, and it did not disappoint. Final score, obviously, was 22-8. There was a lot more to it than that. The Butcher Boys ran out winners, but it was very evenly matched for the first 10-15 minutes of the game. They were not giving each other a single inch of anything. But shout out to Logan Radizevich scoring the first try in the game. And then, converting 3 of the 4 tries, 22-8 winners. Central Newcastle Butcher Boys winning that game. And the Butcher Boys player of the match from us for Energy Pro is Logan Radizevich. It'd be rude not to, or Radzevich. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. That about wraps up the Life in Sport report. We do want to give a special shout out to League Castle. They cover the Newcastle Rugby League, Central Coast Rugby League, and a few other local leagues. Go and check them out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. They're doing great things. They're working with Bar TV. It's a wonderful thing. Shout out to Josh and Chris for their tireless efforts at League Castle. Rightio, guys, that wraps up this week's episode. It's been a short one, but it's been a good one. And you know what? What better way? Next week, you guys will see me talking about the Ron Massey Cup Magic Round. Entrance Tigers against the Warangaroos Denton Engineering Cup match.